I'm Ruben, and this is Tech Enthusiast. Welcome to Tech Enthusiast, the channel all about the exciting tech that can help you work and play smarter, not harder. Today's video is on the Samsung Galaxy Fold. So some key specs on the Fold. The processor is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855. This phone has 12 gigs of memory, has a 512 gigabytes of storage, doesn't have any micro SD storage. So screen sizes, the exterior screen is a 4.6 inch screen. The unfolded or the inside screen is 7.3 inches. Resolution on the outside screen is 1680 by 720. Unfolded or the inside screen, 2152 by 1536. Now the phone includes USB-C connection as well as Bluetooth 5.0. It has battery split between the two halves of the phone, which equal in total 4,380 milliamp hours. The weight is a hefty 263 grams, and it is currently running Android 9.0 or Android Pie. It's expected to upgrade to Android 10 sometime in the first quarter of 2020. So let's get into a little bit about the Samsung Galaxy Fold. You'll hear a lot of people tell you that it is pricey, and it is in fact a pretty pricey phone. It retails for $1,980. You'll hear a lot of people tell you that it feels like a first generation product. I have to disagree. I think the build quality on this phone is outstanding for what might be considered, of course, a first generation product. Samsung considers this to be a luxury phone, and I think it really comes down to three qualities that you can consider to make it a luxury phone. Certainly, you know, the design is going to be one. Certainly, it's going to be the material, the interior screen, which we'll look at in a couple of minutes. But really what I think it comes down to is all of the research and really the wow factor that kind of goes into this phone. I personally don't think it feels like a test phone, while it is very, very hefty. Feels, you'll hear a lot of people say it feels like two phones sandwiched together. It definitely has some weight to it, but when this thing is folded, it's an extremely comfortable phone to hold and to use in one hand. A lot of people will say that this outside screen is too small. I don't think it's too small. It's the perfect size for doing whatever you need and want to do one-handed. Completely customizable. You can do everything that you need to do on the inside screen, on the outside screen, and vice versa. So a little bit more about the phone. You've got a 10 megapixel camera on the outside. You've got two cameras on the inside, including a 10 megapixel camera as well as a depth sensor on the inside. And then finally you have three cameras on the rear. It's going to be your standard, your wide angle, and your telephoto, of course, along with your flash. This case comes in the box with your phone. I'm not the biggest fan of it, only because it's a little on the thin side, and I generally don't like phones that expose the camera hump on the back of the phone. Other than that, I mean, some protection is better than nothing. This doesn't feel like an extremely fragile phone to me. It feels like a phone that, while it can't necessarily take a beating, it is a phone that you can feel confident in using as long as you are someone who can take care of the phone. It's not for construction work, or it's not for someone who will just throw a device around, but it is for someone who can appreciate a great phone. So I've had this for about, I'd say, a week and a half, and during which times I've really enjoyed using it. What's great about the phone is, again, when you need something, that when you're running for the train or you're on the subway and you just need to do something very quickly, you can very easily go in and you can use everything one-handed right on the main screen. But when you need to do a little bit more work, when you need to get into and really check out some things on a much bigger screen, then this is really the way to go. You really can't beat the ability to have a phone when you need it, and then a tablet when you need it or when you want it. While I'm not the biggest fan of the fingerprint on the side, I usually use the face unlock method. Before this phone, I had the Note 10, and so unlike a lot of people, I could appreciate the under display fingerprint sensor. The speakers on this are outstanding. You've got a speaker here, and you've got a speaker here. You've got a microphone here, and you've got a microphone here next to your USB-C port. You have an incredible hinge. I mean, this hinge is extremely solid and guaranteed it's going to last a very long time. Apparently, Samsung did the math. You'll hear this everywhere you read about the phone. If you unfold this phone an average of 100 times a day, the hinge is going to last you 5 years. So it's a pretty outstanding product. I really can't say enough about it. I've had the phone for about a week. I'm excited about the phone. I think it's a great device. Again, the outside screen is not that hard to use. I mean, I don't have very large hands, but I find this extremely easy to use, to get into. It's one of those things where if you're using it one-handed, it's super comfortable to be able to navigate. Now, of course, when you've got this open and you're using it this way, it's a totally different story. But at the end of the day, it's a phone that's designed to complement someone who needs this some of the time and who needs this some of the time as well. So overall, these are just my initial first impressions on the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Thank you very much.